just when Governor Haley does something that I'm ready to praise her for, she does something else that I have to criticize her for. Hey folks, this is Eric from Another Voice with Eric and Friends. This week, Governor Haley did something that I think has backbone, and she's right about something. And then she turns around and says some things that I have to disagree with. Over the last 2 years, our state legislature has been working on ethics reform. It's taking a little longer than I thought would be necessary, but it's been going on. There's been some good things, some change to election law, some changes to what information has to be given, what financial disclosure has to be given. But the sticking point seems to be, what's the Ethics Commission going to be? Right now, the House investigates the House, the Senate investigates the Senate, the Ethics Commission investigates the others. And the Ethics Commission is made up by the House and Senate. Governor Haley has been calling for an independent ethics board. And there's been debates back and forth in the legislature about what this Ethics Commission should look like. And the most recent piece of legislation is this. The Ethics Commission would be composed of 2 from the House. I don't know the exact number. It would be from the House, from the Senate, judges, and from Governor Haley's office. Now, you might think, okay, legislature gets some, judges, and the governor. Well, the governor said, this is not right. This is not an independent board. Because remember, the judges are picked by the legislature. They're the ones who vote these judges into office. And Governor Haley said, look, I will probably veto if it doesn't have a independent board. Well, she's right on that. Because here's the thing. They set this commission up, which is heavily influenced by the legislature. And when they investigate an ethics complaint, they don't then deal with the punishment or what to do with it. They send it back, if it's a House member, to the House Ethics Commission. If it's a Senate member, to the Senate Ethics Commission. So in reality, all that the legislation is going to do is add a second step, another step between, hey, he did something wrong, to the House and Senate saying, bad boy. That's not ethics reform. And the governor's dead right on this. It needs to be an independent. My idea, and I don't know how to flesh this out, but my idea would be the legislature, the House would get 2 votes for people to go on the board that cannot be sitting members of the House. The Senate would get 2 votes, which cannot be sitting senators. The governor's office would get 2 votes, which would not be someone in the administration. And then you and I get 2 votes. I don't know how that would work. And maybe you have the Attorney General as the chairman. I know that stacks, well, that's 4, 3, 2. I think that's a good mix. But the idea is, in order to have real ethics reform, you have to have independence. It has to be an independent agency that's not beholden to any of those bodies. If they wanted to make it more heavily us picking some of them, I think that would be a good idea. So Governor Haley, you are right. Ethics reform is not successful until there is independence. I praise you. Stick to your guns. I know we need ethics reform, but this isn't reform. And this may be a place where you should veto. And for you and I, we need to get on the horn. We need to talk to our senators and representatives first to try to convince them to change this bill, which will be difficult with what's left in the session. But if they won't change it, at least get them to uphold the governor's veto so that in the next session, next year, whoever gets reelected can address it and deal with independent. And that should be a campaign issue. If you've got someone, if a senator or representative is up for a re-election, you need to make that an election issue. So I'm very happy with the governor on this. But then late in the week, she does something that I disagree with. As you know, if you're in the Greenville area, Artisphere is going on. Mom and I went down there this Sunday. Cool stuff. Lots of art down there, and so many people. There's artists from all over the country, and there's visitors from all over Greenville, all over the state, and probably from out of state, which brings all kinds of business into Greenville. The restaurants, the hotels, and everything connected, gas stations. We get a big influx of money for Greenville and for South Carolina on this event. On opening day, Governor Haley praised the event as a great thing for Greenville and as a great thing for the state. And she talked about how Greenville is doing so many wonderful things. But the governor is also quoted as saying that she remains committed that no taxpayer money should fund the arts. Now, I know she makes an exception dealing with a school, but she has sought every year she's been in office to reduce, or in her preference, get rid of funding for the Arts Commission, which has given Artisphere some money. She has said taxpayer dollars shouldn't pay for art, but she praised an event that receives state taxpayer money through the Arts Commission and county taxpayer money. Now, you may be out there saying, yeah, we shouldn't pay for art. Let the artists take care of that. Let the community groups. I got that. But we're okay with corporations getting money to come into the state, because here's the reason. It'll be good for our state. There'll be jobs. There'll be tax dollars generated. That's what these festivals do. Now, it's not a long-term job. Absolutely. We are not getting long-term employment through Artisphere or Fall for Greenville or any of these other festivals. But you know what we are getting? Attention on Greenville. For people to move to Greenville. For businesses to consider the lifestyle of the city. The quality of life in Greenville and in South Carolina. And decide, we've got a good work population, we've got good education for some of our jobs, and we've got good quality of life. Let's move there. I'm sorry, Governor, you can't have it both ways. You cannot praise Artisphere, which receives taxpayer money, and say taxpayer money should never go to the arts. We need to be wise with our taxpayer money. I agree. We need to cut out waste and fraud. But we also have to look beyond the simple no taxpayer money. Because if we're spending the money wisely and it's bringing a return, then it's a smart decision. And I can tell you right now, Greenville is on the map nationally, partially because of the quality of our life. And these festivals encourage that. They bring the spotlight on Greenville. All right. We will be talking probably about these things and others. Our next podcast is Tuesday of next week. We normally do Mondays, but we're doing it Tuesday. And we're going to be interviewing Josh Cook of the Republican Liberty Caucus, also a candidate for House District 19. When we're interviewing him about the no tax hike movement that is trying to stop Greenville County from putting on a referendum, putting on the ballot a referendum about raising our gas sales tax 1% to pay for road work. And we also should be talking to Tracy Fant of Think Twice about a number of things, but specifically It Takes a Village project, helping out the folks in Dixie Estate. All right, so go to our website, canIGetAWordIn.com. Go to Facebook at Another Voice with Eric and Friends. You can also go to YouTube at Be Another Voice, or tweet us at Twitter at Be Another Voice. And until we talk again, get out in your community and make a difference.